Okay, let's break down the Tannery thing because there's actually some points to be made. First of all, it might be pointed to point out that Kevin D, the other guy who I was kind of having a tit for tat about this content, is the owner of the art bar. So that means he's the one in control of the cameras, okay? Now, when you control the cameras and when you are in a leadership position, it makes sense to me to step forward and maybe make, possibly, and I don't know it, a sterling attack. It could have been a coincidence. It could have been not a coincidence. I don't really know. But here's what's a little confusing to me and why I don't think it's a coincidence. Kevin's writing is solid. So much so that I don't think he needs to rip off anyone's work. My writing is solid as well, but our writing is not the same. And we have different styles about it. And actually, I wanted to talk about a few things with that. If you watch Kevin, for example, because that's what this is about, him present his work, his writing is strong. His presentation is stronger. I point to this because there's an MO behind this. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's an MO behind this. When I go up and read you guys, am I doing it like how Kevin does, all theatrically and present and with this like great amount of theatrical energy? This is my poem. This is how I'm reading. This is my poem. So, two things I want to say. One, when someone's reading and they're presenting it so theatrically, you might think, as someone who maybe is not an active writer, this is excellent writing. Let's listen to it. Pay attention to the words, first of all. I'm not saying his writing is good, but what I'm saying is, who is then more about the presentation of writing, Kevin or I? Now, if I'm more about the credit going in there, I want the credit for this. What am I going to do? I'm going to do an antidote. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to take all these pictures for Facebook. I don't know how she reads because I've never seen it. You go up there and make a big to-do and go take these pictures. You don't see pictures on Facebook. You don't hear me presenting it theatrically. Why? Because I'm not there for the credit. I wasn't even there for poetry night. I was there because I had threats about going up as a comedian, and I wanted to get over my stage fright because you really can't have that for comedy. I didn't value the poetry night for its own thing. So the incentive for me to go there and rip off people's shit. Now am I sitting there recording shit? I think when Kevin Amati read his poem, he might have had me record his specifically, but outside of that, do you see me recording shit? No. I'm not in control of the cameras. Kevin is. Right, because it's his art bar. If I'm there to rip off people's shit, I'm sure as shit going to be... Right. Now, here's another thing. I went there many, many nights. So go ahead and show me where this incident happens again. Now be careful, because they could just record the back of a blonde girl's head that's been happening and go, see, she was in the crowd. It should be very easy. I walk in the doors facing forward. You should be able to clearly see, and you should see. So if you're not sure, you ask for the before or after footage, okay? But it actually brings up a really good point. One, why would I do that? Why would I turn around and go the next reading to go let him know, I'm ripping you off now? That doesn't make sense. If I'm trying to sneak by and get these little works, for what incentive exactly? So I can be a poet? I wasn't trying to be a poet. It's just something that I do. It wasn't a career choice. I don't think it's many people's career choices. Right, because if you're making money on your art, probably selling out. No, but there are some fantastic artists, but poets, you guys, that's a very hard sell. That is a very specific niche that it's not realistic to think that you're going to make it as a poet and make enough money to survive the rest of your life. It's just not realistic. So I guess I'm failing to see the incentive here, and I'm failing to see the incentive of why, if what I'm saying is not true, would I go up and then go, look, I took your concept It was the other way around. I was like, that's really weird. And to be honest, I wasn't sure if he was flirting in like some fucked up way or something, but now with Sterling, now I think it's more along this line. But he had done so little things that were a little flirty, and I thought maybe he was like, I don't know, like, you know. But that didn't make sense either, because I was like, yeah, but no. So I couldn't really tell you his motivations. I don't know. I'd have to hear what he said to the public to tell you if he's working for them. If he said I was on drugs, if he said I had sex with him or anything along those lines, then he's working for them. Okay, but I don't have that privilege and information. What I will say is he's in a polygamous satanic, I've shown you this, Tannery with the triangle, circle that had no problem stinging me, and where it was very important for some reason to be brought. I was driven to go to poetry night. It was always to make sure that I was there. Friends were, oh, are you going? Okay, I'll bring you. And for some reason, it was very important that I was there. If this were my motivation to steal work, I don't know why I'd present it then the next week. And also, it would be showing up in accordance for what, you guys? To publish it online? Then go ahead and find that footage of me being there, listening to it, and then predate it to the stuff online. Again, just make sure it's actually me in the camera. So go ahead. But I guess my last point is, being that I had access to all of these writers, and about, I'm not kidding, and you would just, this is actually great. You have the footage from Sterling. Go ahead and analyze some of these kids right now. Again, don't get distracted by the showiness of their presentation. However, go ahead and listen to the content, and about 3/4 of them are far better writers than Nancy. I'm sorry, she's not. She's vastly overhyped in this situation and underwhelming. I don't like her writing. I think it's boring most of the time. I don't see why anyone would bother stealing it. It's not creative. It's not. Even if they weren't my lines, I still wouldn't think it was very original. Why? Because it's cheap tricks, and they're so fucking boring, dude. It's her just going, look, I'm saying this basically in the box shit, and then I'm gonna throw a twist like, oh, now I'm talking about barbecue sauce, and isn't that modernity? I threw that in there as like, it's these little tricks that she's learned from her little workshops, and they're just so boring and passe, and it's already been done, So I guess that's my question. Why wouldn't I rip off the better writers with all that access? Right. And also how would I get Nancy's work? It doesn't make sense. I'm going in having weekly stuff for what purpose? I don't know. What is the point, you guys? To publish it on my little site, which you can't prove that that's how it happened, or to have it for my own notebooks and pretend that I read it, or what? To try to get these poems published? You don't have any of this on record. What you do have is Nancy hurriedly getting her shit like 2-3 years after I've already come public and on here to get her shit published. Now that's a motivation. You don't see that from me. So, and again, how would I hear? I'm not in Long Beach. How would I hear the bullshit that she spouts? But how would I? Right, because I'm not there. And if she has some sort of predated proof, again, stop talking about keep it fresh, more bullshit, and start proving like I already have. Okay, coconut shell, like a girl wanderer. Okay, lightning bolt of exclamation. Okay, so.